Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Town of Lexington Planning Commission meeting. This is our normal monthly meeting, and it's being held at 8 a.m. Wednesday, February 28th, and it's been rescheduled from the 21st from last week. The meeting is being broadcast live and will air several times throughout the week on Cable Channel 2. I am Keith Frost, your Planning Commission Chair, and I'll ask the other members to please introduce themselves.
Good morning, I'm Frank Berry.
Good morning, I'm Sam Andrews.
Good morning, I'm Brian Amick.
Morning, Roscoe Kaufman.
Good morning, I'm Lisa Gibson.
Good morning, I'm Jeannie Michaels.
Good morning, I'm Jamie Fight.
Good morning, I'm John Bartlett.
Good morning, I'm Brett Poole, Town Administrator.
Morning, I'm Brad Cunningham, Town Attorney.
Good morning, Charlie Thomas, Building Official.
President Renuzza, Planning and Building.
Randy Edwards, Director of Transportation.
Good morning, John Hanson, Director of Planning.
I'm Karen Hanna, the Assistant Municipal Clerk.
All right, at this time, I'll ask Commissioner Gibson if she will open us in an invocation.
Okay. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity of this new day. We thank you for the changing of the seasons, for the rain to bring new growth for our area. We just pray for our leaders and the decisions that they make and our decisions that we make for the town. Pray for those that protect us every day and that serve on our front lines. Pray that you will bring them guidance and protection today. We just thank you for all you do for us and praise you for this time. Amen.
Amen. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, at this time, I will call the meeting to order. At this time, I don't think we have any deletions to the agenda. First item to take up is our minutes from our regular meeting on January 24th. They are in your packet. Do we have any corrections, additions?
Motion approved.
Here, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. That is unanimous. Thank you very much. All right, old business, and without objection from the commission, I'm going to propose that we take up item 2 before we take up item 1, so that since they are related. But one is the plan unit development, and the other is the annexation of property that's involved in that. So I'm going to suggest that maybe we take up the PUD first. John.
Good morning. This is a revision of a project you looked at last month. The Krager Company has requested approval of a planned development that will be located on Darby Ambrose Road. The project includes an 84,000 square foot corporate headquarters and distribution center with space to add 60,000 square feet of additional space. 3 commercial buildings with a combined 49,400 square feet of commercial space and 20 residential units are also included in the plan. Those are on top of over the commercial property. 2 of these buildings have commercial space on the first floor and residential space on the second floor. The third building includes only commercial space. No information was provided on the type of residential units being proposed, i.e. apartments or condos or townhouses or anything like that. The plan also includes a large area of protected residential space that will remain undeveloped for the time being. This proposal includes temporary access to the site through a single entrance off of Darby Ambrose Road. Permanent access will be installed by the Krager Company once the realigned 378 westbound lane is installed. The company is also proposing some right-of-way dedication to help facilitate the 378 corridor improvement. No information was provided by the applicant on proposed terms or contingencies to ensure that access is enhanced prior to construction of the commercial areas or the warehouse expansion should these projects move forward at a faster pace than the 378 corridor improvements.
All right.
The engineer, Mr. Britt, is here if you have any questions about the plan.
All right. Are there any questions of John before we move to the engineer? All right, Mr. Britt, please come forward. Introduce yourself again for the record.
I'm Tom Britt with HB Engineering. I'm representing the applicant as their site engineer.
Okay. All right. Questions of Mr. Britt?
As far as you know, there's still no clear access to that traffic light.
At current time, there's not.
Is there plans for any improvements to the intersection of Darby Ambrose Road and 378?
You're asking if the existing Darby Amherst Road and 378 is part of this plan? No. It's not. This plan is contingent, basically contingent on being able to access the traffic light on the drive beside Murphy gas station.
But that's not something the applicant is seeking. They're waiting for the town to acquire right-of-way and access through their road plan for the future.
Yes, we've been told that the town has plans, don't have a timetable, but that's what we're told.
So what would the order or the prospective building look like as far as timeframes?
It'd just be the corporate headquarters would go with temporary access to Darby Ambrose, and the commercial and residential would not move forward unless the town moves forward with their road improvements.
Additional questions?
So as far as the residential in the back, is that still in the works potentially? Or is that something that is not thought about anymore?
Well, that is not officially part of the PUD. That is just a rezoning to PR, and that so that it's again not part of the PUD, the plan development itself. If this is approved, that would be basically a separate piece of property that is just PR and open to development under those requirements.
Additional questions?
Mr. Chairman, I don't have any questions of the engineer. Is there someone representing the developer here?
There's not.
Okay.
And you said that the intention would be to build the office space first and then at a later date construct the warehouse?
No, it's my understanding that the corporate headquarters would include the distribution center also at the same time.
Brent, do you know if the developer has engaged the assistance of any type of commercial or residential developer to determine whether or not phase 2 of this is truly viable?
I'm not aware either way if that's happened.
Okay. Because one of the discussions we had as we were working through the concept of a PUD was to make sure that whatever plan we brought to us was something that was truly intended to be developed and was feasible to be developed. And I'm not sure that question has been answered. It appears that this was just a way to somewhat circumvent the ordinance of having industrial property on 378, which is something I think this commission was pretty clear on a month and a half ago. So it seems to me that there's a lot of unanswered questions. Some of the contingencies, when we get PUDs generally to look at, we get some type of narrative that kind of outlines what you're going to do when, what the contingencies are, because you're asking for some variance from the ordinance. In this case, we got a sketch plan that, and that was it. We really got no narrative. It's my understanding that staff did forward back an example of what we normally would receive in this type of development, and we still have heard nothing back. So it's a little concerning that there doesn't seem to be quite the effort here that we would have expected, I think, with this type of development. Not that it's not something that couldn't work. I just think we need to see a little more information. Any questions? Any other questions?
A motion, if we're ready.
Sure.
Motion to recommend to not approve as submitted at this time. Just, we need some more summaries of the contingencies, as well as a more comprehensive plan.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Let me offer a thought, and the commission can do what it wants to. Since this is a PUD, we don't have the strict time frame requirements for addressing it either for or against. Perhaps we table this and allow him to work with staff over the next month or two, whatever it takes, to generate some information as relates to some of the questions that we've had this morning. So that, again, they have the opportunity to give us a quality product. Again, not that, I think this is something that could be viable. We just need the information on paper and understand what the contingencies are and what their process will be. So it's a thought. You guys, we have a motion and a second, but that's, there's another avenue.
Question based on that, then she would need to change her motion to a
Yes,
table.
if she so chooses to
If she
do so.
so.
She could
Or
withdraw her
yeah.
motion and then.
Withdraw it and come back with a table.
All right, I will withdraw a motion,
All right.
and we'll make a motion to table.
All right. All right, so table it until such time as they bring it back with the
Right.
appropriate information. I think that we need to make a decision. All right, do we have a second for that?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Yes, sir. Okay. All right, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. All right, and that is unanimous. Thank you very much. Mr. Britt, if you would please just relay back that, we're willing to work with them. I think they've got something that could work. We just need some additional information before we can make a recommendation on the council. Thank you. All right. So with that, what I'm going to suggest is that we also did not deal with item number 2 today. I guess wait until, or that's an annexation. I guess, do we have to?
Have to make a recommendation on it, or did you not already make a recommendation on it?
You can't annex
Previous
it.
recommendation
At
was
this point, we'd have to.
not to annex.
Yeah, the previous recommendation was not to annex.
But that was a recommendation.
So this was a reconsideration, so do we need to,
If we don't know what the PUD is, we don't know what the zoning,
So is there a
underlying
timeline is
zoning
what
would
they're
be.
asking? Right. Could we come back to that and let Brad look at?
yeah,
look something up
absolutely,
real quick?
absolutely. We can take up item 3 and then come back to the first item of new business and then come back to that one. All right, first item of new business is 5229 Sunset Boulevard. John?
Just a little more simple. SGC Mineral Springs LLC owns 4.3 acres located at 5229 Sunset Boulevard and has petitioned to annex the property. AAA Automotive Repair and Car Wash are being planned on the site. Properties in town near this one are zoned general commercial. Sunset Boulevard is classified as an arterial road and Mineral Springs Road is classified as a collector. Due to the surrounding conditions and the intended use of the property, the same zoning and road classification are recommended for this parcel.
All right. Any questions?
Where do they enter?
Yes.
Off of Middle Spring?
The site plan has not been finalized
Okay.
yet.
That's the current curve cut.
Yeah, okay.
We've looked at a couple of different scenarios. Randy and DOT have been involved in the discussions with that.
Has there been any further discussion or talks that you know of about improvement of that intersection?
Their site plan that they are proposing does include some improvements to the intersection.
Taking the tree down and widening the lane, maybe?
I think it's gonna have a right turn lane off of Mineral Springs on Sunset.
So the proposed would be no entrance on 378?
They will be sharing the entrance with the strip center next door. with 1 taco, 2 taco in it. And then on Mineral Springs, that's the area that's still a little fluid with what they're wanting to do there. The AAA is roughly 3 acres of the 4 acres, and then there's another out parcel. But as I said, that is all being worked through right now with staff. Right now, we haven't approved any of it. Matter of fact, we have a meeting after this meeting.
Okay. And there is an option, should the commission recommend annexation to council, that normally this is not a project that would come back to us because it would fit within all the ordinances. However, as we've done with more recent projects, if you guys wanted to see the site plan to look at access and flow, we could ask that to come back to us if the commission so wished. I know Randy and John have worked extensively with the developer on this one. I'm not sure that's completely necessary, but if there's unanswered questions and folks want to see it, you can always do that. And this will go through architectural review, correct?
Right.
It has been referred to the Architectural
Okay.
Review Board by the staff architectural committee.
All right. Any further questions? And I assume we do have folks here that can answer specific questions if folks had specific questions about this project.
We do, but we're addressing
Just
the
annexation,
annexation
okay.
now.
I understand. All right.
Unless you request it to come back to you for site plan approval, we don't need to go down that
Okay.
road right now.
I understand. All right, any further questions about the annexation? All right, hearing none, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Lisa makes a motion. Do we- Frank seconds. Thank you very much. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. And that is unanimous. Thank you very much. All right.
Back to number one.
Yeah, back number one. Brad's looking.
Do we have all the petitions?
We did.
When were they dated?
I don't have that information in January sometime.
If it would, just to make sure that we cover our bases, I mean, we've asked to table it. If we need to reaffirm our motion from last month, we could do that and then take it back up again next month when they come back to us. And I think that's acceptable, so.
I move table and annexation.
Well, we can't table it. We have to say yes or no. We have to either vote to, so make a recommendation to council to annex or not.
Okay.
So, and I think our motion last time was not, given the concerns. So is that a motion, Mr. Hendrick?
Yes.
All right, so we have a motion to recommend not to annex. Is that a second? All right. Everyone understand where we're at? All right. All right, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. All right, thank you very much. All right, that wraps up all of our items of business for this morning. Is there anything else from the commission members? Traffic update?
Did not meet this month.
All right. That means we have no traffic.
Not much.
Do y'all ever meet?
Good, good.
Yes, we do.
All right, anything else, Brett?
Mr. Chairman, the council liaison and backup liaison both were unable to be here. Kathy Manis is sick, and Mr. Williams had to work, and so we have Councilmember Baker today. He's got a few announcements.
Well, Steve, we're glad to have you here.
Thank you, glad to be here.
Welcome.
We ready for these
Yes, sir.
announcements? All right. First of all, we've got the St. Patrick's Day Parade coming up on March 10th. Second, we have the first day of spring on March 20th. On March 23rd, we have Celtic Commotion Tartan Day. And then both of these are at the amphitheater next,
That's
right? On March 29th, we've got Wonder Woman being shown, the movie. And then on the 31st, we've got Barbecue and Blues. So hope to see everyone out there.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you. Again, good to have you here. So,
Good to be here.
March 23rd will be a better day other than just the Celtic blues, for me anyway. So, Anything else, John?
The 24th, you're good.
24th. I'm gonna be there on the 23rd.
And it
apparently.
begins.
I've been there on the 23rd for the last 2 months.
It's already forgotten.
Good start.
It starts.
Good start, yeah, you're doing
What
well.
my anniversary is. So, that's
Yeah,
right.
at least he's
So I'm not
early.
late. So, all right. Anything else, John? No, sir. All right. Anyone else have anything else? All right. And I assume we will be meeting in March. Looks like we may have one item coming back to us, I hope.
At this point, we expect to meet in March.
Okay. All right. All right, hearing nothing else, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you very much. And again, thank you for being here and for watching the Town of Lexington Commission meeting. Again, the meeting was held at 8 a.m. Wednesday, February 28th, and will be aired several times throughout the week. On behalf of the commission, I wish you a good day.